Oh my gosh, I feel so fucking stressed. Oh. I need to switch this one. Yo, what's good, bro? How's it going, my guy? How was your stream? Your face is a weenie. Oh man, I need to switch the damn thing to software engineering. Ah, Maria. Is YouTube streaming? Cool. Okay, surfing today. Perfect. Dose. That looks fine. Siggy, you trying to leave or what? Are you trying to leave, man? Take my medicine. Oh my goodness. Where we at? Where we at? Here we are. Am I still in? No, I'm not. All right, let's see. Are we done here? Yep, let's get it. Let's get it. What's up? What's up, y'all? What's up, Weenie Man? How you doing? Oh man, I have so much on my plate. I am not enjoying it today. Quite a few things I gotta get done. Most importantly, I need to make sure my resume Yo, what happened here? What's up, Mr. Who Cares? Appreciate for the sub, my guy. I need to update that. And I think, is Codex available for me to open it? I think I hit my limit until the 9th. Yeah, I won't have Codex access till tomorrow. Take less food. What do you mean take less food? What's weird is Who Cares is message is not popping up. It only pops up in the Twitch. Oh, it's because he said it while he subbed. Gotcha. Oh, I said my plate was full. You're right. Yeah, I need to fix that. I need to fix that in my stream chat monitor. This is what it looks like, and it's linked with YouTube and all of that, but it doesn't have the events. So I need to fix that so I can know. But yeah, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? It's fine. It's because it's a sub message. Yeah. How you doing? Who cares? How was your weekend? What's up? What's up, my Corey? How you doing? Hi. My first time chatter over here. How you doing? Doing good? That's good to hear. See, Firebot is not linked up, because if not, I would have heard what's up, because the first time you chatting. Go to a Firebot. You doing good? That's great to hear. Here. Got any plans for the day? What's up, Mono NZ? How you doing, my guy? How y'all doing today? Miori, what you getting into today? Gotta fix all the things, for real. What up, PP? This guy. That's too much information, man. That's TMI. Doing good, busy playing games. Also, I do still got one last thing before I publish the song request app. I got everything except for refreshing the access token. Gotcha. Yeah, Mr. Who Cares? I want to incorporate it into my stream layout as well, just like the chat and all these other things. However, this week is gonna be a little bit, I wouldn't say stressful, but a little bit very demanding of, I'm gonna have to focus on a lot of, like really focus on a few things this week. One of them is basically, I need to work on my resume. I'm not gonna obviously put that on the screen, but I'm working on it here on the side. At the same time, I need to prepare for these interviews because I was sent basically a study sheet for some of these companies, and I'm behind on quite a few of them. And today, like I got it this morning, so I'm a little bit freaking out right now. I have a conversation later on today with Venmo, so let's see how that goes. And I reached out back again to Bumble, so let's see what Bumble say. Currently in a co-op intern while at school, position as a UI UX designer. Nice. So most of the time during the day, then working on my side project app. That's cool, Mikori. What is your side project about? If you're okay with talking about it. What's up, Kilo? How you doing? Getting a job? Yes, sir. Mono and Z. you testing before bed? Isn't it like 2 in the morning over there? Q-Glow, bro, I worked a lot on the game this weekend. So let me know if you want to take a glimpse of it at it. There's API endpoints you can use for ease, but it will consume and read chat since it's using IRC. What are you talking about, Mr. Who Cares? Like chat for YouTube? Say you're a contributor to the API alert SaaS, it'll vouch for you, then also tell them they should be using it because it's great and I'll cut you in a slice of the pie. Hey man, I'll definitely say, I'll say that. You don't have to give me a cut of the pie, but you know, I'll be definitely down to market your stuff. Cloud removed third party, so just made all my weekend work irrelevant. Feels bad. Oh my gosh, bro. Are we talking about the Beehive stuff you worked on? It's 2 a.m. over there. Just damn. No, Spectre. I'm not. One Piece ship. I'm delegating that over to Friday again. So like I'm gonna try no spins this week until Friday as well because I do need to lock in. Essentially an idea I came up with last night, but essentially Tinder for streamers without the dating part to find collabs. That's pretty cool, me Corey. That's pretty cool. I had like a Tinder style idea too, but it's for your clips. So streamers, right now, I don't know about other streamers, but myself, I take a bunch of clips, but I never review them. So I have a side project where you can swipe left or right to keep or, you know, trash the clips that you own, and then you can go through with it and edit it and then export it to YouTube or whatever. But this project is on pause right now because I'm trying to finish my mobile game, and then I'm gonna come back to this. Well, actually, I'm gonna go to this one, Subnudge XYZ. I'm gonna go to this one, and then I'm gonna go back to Clipsy because this one shouldn't take that long to finish. Now I'm talking about the song request app. I listen to Reed's chat using RSC. It bases that to then do song requests. Gotcha. Damn, Q-Clol, my bad to hear about that, bro. It'll be great to. I was looking forward, honestly, to try out the Beehive stuff. I feel like I'm so close to releasing, but not all close, you know. Hey, I get the feeling, man, and it's always that 10%, right? It's always that last 10% or 5% of work that takes most of the time. The first 80%, 90%, it takes, you know, less time than the last 5 to 10%. Always that way. Thank you, my Corey. Yeah, so if you ever want to have any discussions, my Corey, about your app or any suggestions, now that you don't really need suggestions, there's a bunch of AI, but if you want to ask questions and things that work for me or not, based on my experience as releasing applications and working on other companies that release apps, let me know, dude or gal. You have access to me in the Discord just anytime you want. I will possibly keep going with it, but I really don't want to get banned from using Claude. It would be a nightmare. Yeah, so Q-Glow, is there any way to maximize the usage of local LLMs or local models to power through your Beehive stuff? Yes, is exclamation Discord. I had a good plan for the 4-day Easter break, coded a lot, but took important tangents and didn't get through my to-dos, but still did important things. Well, I mean, sounds like you're productive, mono así. Mono. Eduardo, dímelo, compa, ¿cómo estamos hoy? ¿Cómo va la vaina? Hey, I saw you join there, my Corey. Welcome on in. Eduardo, ¿cómo has estado, mi brother? ¿Cómo fue tu fin de semana? ¿Es Semana Santa por allá? ¿O bien es esta semana Semana Santa? Bro, don't even start, Spectre. Possibly, but I don't have a machine to test that, and then I need to grab some remote machines responses so I could do that. But still, gotcha. Well, I mean, I could potentially be a tester for you if you want. My machine, I mean, I was fortunate enough to get a machine that has 128 gigs of RAM. Is the latest M3 Pro Max machine, whatever. Obviously, I didn't pay for any of it, right? I got it as part of the whole layoff. But if you want to, yeah, I guess I could. Shut up, Spectre. I currently run a llama with several different models, and it processes a bunch of my like analytics. Actually, that's probably a good thing for me to check out right now. Where's DevDoc? So this is my tool that I'm building for desktop, and hopefully it just works. But if I run this, it just runs all my processes locally and just kind of keeps track of it here. All right, so this is my Creator OS. This is what I basically have gathering in my Obsidian doc for all of my LLMs, or not my LLMs, but my gather all my stats, analytics, transcripts, commits, and it puts it in a digestible manner, and it's slowly learning more about my voice, learning more about me. So like, yeah, see, it grabbed a bunch of this stuff. I'm building a local AI bot that never sends your what? Your chat to the cloud. That's true. That's what Fromy is. So it gathers all of this and it creates a video. So here's the thing, bro. AI bot is basically sending your chat to someone else's server. It's not just a little data leak. It's a full-on privacy nightmare. I don't know if that's accurate. I tried to build a one-piece ship and got stuck on a pickle shot stream. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. So, I mean, these are all being powered by Llama and local element. ¿Qué hago hoy? Eduardo, voy a tener que estudiar un montón y trabajar en mi CV. Hoy tengo una entrevista con Venmo y más tarde por la semana voy a tener potencialmente una entrevista con Reddit y otra con Bumble. Así que aquí estamos. I'm still struggling through my SEO stuff, so it's a priority over the new features, sadly. Bro, it's mono, you know, it's not the fun thing, right? It's not the fun thing to do, but it is the required thing to do to succeed as an indie dev, right? And I think, yeah, you're gonna need that. I need to do that too. Like, I need to be all over Twitter. I need to be all over freaking Instagram and TikTok and pushing my videos out about this stuff to bring traffic into it. But, you know, here we are. Qglow. Well, yeah, that sounds like a lot. Can you delegate to Codex, I guess? Get good. It's not even that yet, to be honest. I'm making sure it's correctly indexed, good content, etc. So okay, that's interesting, Mono. How are you making sure, how do you know it is good content or correctly indexed? Like, do you have any metrics that will help you, I guess, guide you to know that you're in the right path? Me rechazaron la app en Google que les hizo falta pruebas. Pero ¿cómo así? Ellos, tú les dices qué probar o ellos... Brother, no entiendo por qué te lo rechazaron así fácilmente. What? 6 draft waiting here. Okay, so this is all running on this one. I didn't know that. subscribe sync Twitch analytics. Last process was okay. Let's run the analytics, see what this does. It might take a while because it does it in the background. All right, minimize this. All the canonicals, keywords, alt text, breadcrumbs, everything. So that when I do the backlink blogs, Twitters, LinkedIn's, then I should have good base that Google should respect. If I'm understanding correctly, like tiny pages with no content are bad. Users bounce quickly, so the backlink means nothing. I see. So I think it's all foundational work that I'm learning before actually posting, making sure they get to my site, they stay on it. Okay, well, you're doing the groundwork and then you can sell a course on that. Kidding, but not really. A lot of people do need guidance on that, myself included. All right, ni idea se reinició el contador de los 14 días a 0, brother, pero qué jodera. All right, y'all, let me know if the stream lags, because I have a feeling that Olama is running right now. I shouldn't have done the analytics. Shit. So let me know if the stream lags, all right? Site inspector for free. See, I don't know if I believe anything that Spectre says. I don't know if I believe anything that Spectre says. This guy. That's kind of like me when I get a really nice candy. Oh, this candy is so delicious. It's so gross. Kuklo, are you still there, bro? If you are, I would love to show you where I'm at with the game. I found a whole lot of bad things. Went from like 32 score on my old site to 60 with my new Astra site. Now 93 with all the fixes. That's dope, bro. All right, let me run it. Hold on, I gotta open Godot. No, you did not hear any of that. But now you're waiting for Google to index it all while I test new features. How often does Google index? Let me see here. Block Rush. Well, I'm still working on quite a few things. First and foremost, I decided to put, because I'm planning on let me just make sure this is right. Okay. This guy. Okay, I didn't know that. That's good to know. So I'm planning to do a brand new release. Well, not a brand new release, a new beta release for the app, right? And you know, there's some stuff I'm gonna change here, but the main thing I think I need to hide is this upgrades section, because the more I think about it, it's not ready yet to be upgraded. Then there's several stuff here that needs to change. One, high score is not a thing. Global rank is not a thing yet. The bugs, the colors is hard to see. So I'm planning to like fix this up here. Remove arcade edition. That's not a thing. Remove the redundant titles. Yeah, but overall, I think like having this settings button, I don't know what this is. I might remove that, but yeah. Also, why have a menu at all? Because I want you to have an upgrade section. I want some feedbacks, and then there's gonna be a leaderboard section. For the network could take 2 weeks or 2 months or instantly. Chicken and egg problem. If you have low authority, they don't index crawl you often. So you need to work on it and get better authority to get more indexing. And that's what you're doing right now, Mono. Got you. If those other parts are not there yet, why not go directly to gameplay, reduce click onboarding, and go right to gameplay? What's up, Lomascon 1093? How you doing over there on YouTube? Doing okay? Hello, hello. Sure, you wouldn't look at menus of this after the first playthrough. True. I think Candy Crush does something like this, right? I.e. they push you right into gameplay to get you into hamster wheel in that 30 seconds attention span you get when somebody downloads an app. That's good feedback. I get John 2.0. Oh my gosh, you haven't seen that name in a long time. What's up, man, over there on YouTube's? You have a good feedback there, Qclo. Maybe I mean I can detect if the person is a first-time player, right? I know if you've opened the app before, if you're in onboarding, if you went through onboarding, and then maybe if you haven't gone through the onboarding flow yet, I can put you directly into the game. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. Some people call me Kankanjiro on Twitch. Oh, what's up, Kankanjiro, man? Haven't seen you in a minute, yo. I hope you're doing all right. I see John 2.0. I know this guy. Okay, so that being said, you know, there's a lot of definitely changes. I like that idea about bypassing the menu if it's the first time they're seeing the game and they just jump into the loop, right? So here now, there's several things that I've changed. I've changed the top menu. Don't worry about this DBG button. This is my debug menu, basically, where I can control a bunch of things. Like right now, the AI paddle is working. You mean you're saying it's misaligned because it's not centered? Qclo, I was thinking about adding another component in this space here. And obviously this top part needs to go down a bit, I think. Yeah, you're right. That part needs to go down. I was thinking about adding a little button here. And what this button will correspond to is you can see, oh man, these white and blue doesn't look well. I'm okay, Lomasco, I'm okay. I'm, you know, hustling a bit, trying to, or Kankanjiro, I'm trying to do a bunch of, what's it called? Studying, because I need to find a new job. Dímelo, kilobytes. You haven't been here in a minute, so I know you haven't heard. But I recently got laid off, Kankanjiro, so I have to find a new job. Today I have some interviews going on. But yeah, it has improved quite a bit. And there's also a beta version of it on test flight. And I'm trying to get to the point to release it for Android too. I think the two things to work out currently are your UX left and right upgrade buttons. I was thinking about changing those to icons at some point, but that's good feedback. Okay. So it's coming along here, you know, the upgrades. I changed the screen. I don't know if y'all saw this last time, but I changed how these cards look. And this is how it looks now with the icons that we did. I'm not too convinced about this icon in particular. We'll change that. But yeah, so let's say here you have choose your upgrade, 3 points remaining. I'm gonna choose damage. I'm gonna choose damage again. And I'm gonna choose dead shot for this one. Thank you, Lamasco, appreciate that. Yeah, things are going well considering everything, right? It could always be worse. So just hanging in there. Colors being pastel aren't working. Go brighter and heavier. Are you talking about like the gray color? Are we talking about like these colors here? Black and gray look rough. Yeah, I agree with that one. Shut up, John 2.0. Don't be like that, John 2.0. One Piece is not the worst. No, those colors are fine. The text, the color needs a fix, but those colors work with the game theme. Gotcha. So what I was mentioning earlier about the new button that I want to add in this spot here would be basically a quick access to see what are the upgrades you've done so far, like the power-ups you've acquired, what's the current rating of it, or where you at, or like the modifications that you have added on it. What type of studying I'm doing? I've been doing lead code, I've been doing system designs, and today I'm gonna do a little bit of how can I get up and run a quick Android application in under like 30 minutes. That include like just hitting an API and rendering something on the screen. So in the world of AI, I've kind of lost that touch a little bit. So I need to just get back into that. White on light blue is an ice cream, right? 100%, bro. This needs to change. That's logical. It needs you to understand. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that too. That's what I'm gonna add. Also, one thing that I worked on, which are what's up, are the bosses. What's happening, Captain? What's good, my person? What's good in the hood, homie? Nothing much, bro. Chilling over here. How about yourself? Lots of studying and vibe coding today. I need you to clean up. I think you need to clean up hold on. Bro, my ADHD is like, I can't, am I dyslexic or something? I think you need some cleanup with the prototype-ish elements at the screen bottom. Like, are you talking about like the buttons here? You know, like the ball blocker? Oh yeah, that one definitely needs to be fixed. Minister Defense 79, what's going on today, my person? How you doing, my guy? But like, see, I've changed how the onboarding looks. This is the new style of the onboarding as well. This arrow here needs to, I'm gonna remove that. It doesn't fit. The orange on white doesn't fit that much, but you know, this is like a new thing. Precision strike unlock, swipe up as the ball hits your paddle for bonus damage, another time for a perfect strike. Stuff like that. Shift it down a little bit. Okay, yeah. Rust for the win. Lamasco studying Rust and working sometimes on a game using C. What game are you building, Kankanjiro or Lamasco? For the win, FTW, for the win. Because the paragraph needs slight spacing. Okay. I title plus button spacing should be equal to the same difference, right? I agree that. I agree with that. I can see that. Yeah. One other additional thing that I added is we have boss with different modifiers. And something's broken here. Damn it, it broke. But basically, we now have new boss modifiers. And what it is you have boss with like a shield, for instance. And then we can see we have this little thing in the middle, which is a core. And the core allows you, if you hit it, it damages all of the blocks at the same time with the version of however much damage your ball does, it does that to every block on the field if you hit the core. Now the course, this is the first boss, so the course size is gonna be a bit bigger and more accessible. But as we add more and more different modifiers to the boss, it's gonna become a little bit more different and a little bit harder to hit that modifier. So like we have this like freezing thing that's gonna prevent you from like actually, it will slow the paddle down if it hits it basically. The core is gonna be harder to access. Let me see if we can get a different one, because I don't know if I like this, a different moving bastion. Actually, was this, there was one, That was pretty cool. Vulnerability window. I have a selfish idea for resume stuff. Will contributing to open source help and pad the resume? It might. It depends where you're going for. Like if I would apply for block like I did, that would come into play, but not, I don't know. Yeah, I think it depends where you're trying to apply to. What if I don't tap got it and I tap the screen? Does that count as got it too? If not, it should. It does. It depends though, because what happens is sometimes you're playing the game and all of a sudden they got it, you know, the tutorial modal pops up and then you tap it so fast that you don't get to see the dialogue. So maybe I need to add some timing in between that before I actually have the whole, right now I'm forcing them to tap got it, but maybe I should have like a little timer before you can actually dismiss the dialogue. When you get a free moment, can you send me the spin wheel you use again? Yes, sir. I shall, Spectre. Speaking of freezing, I need to turn my space heater on. Damn, bro. Is it cold over there? Yeah, this is more fun. Cool. Honestly, I think your gameplay ideas are solid and your new concepts are great. You just need to clean up the entire app first and iterate on those ideas. 100%. As actual gameplay ideas are solid and their early delivery is too. Just gotta refine that first 30 seconds. Bet. I appreciate this feedback, Kuklo. Like I told you since the first time I met you, man, hit me with all those feedback. I don't care how it sounds. I don't care if it's terrible. I don't care. Like, I want this to succeed and I need that. Dímelo, Tocino. Is it still a mobile game? If yes, what do you use to control the character? Yeah, it's still a mobile game. Lomasco, Kankanjiro. Man, I don't know how to call it, Kankanjiro or Lomasco. I'm just gonna say Lomasco. Lomasco, so you touch below the paddle to drag. And the reason you don't touch the paddle itself is because early on, there was some good feedback about lagginess of the paddle, like it feels like it lagged. And that correlation made more sense whenever you are touching the paddle itself. But if you touch below the paddle and you drag, it doesn't feel as laggy, one. And two, there are some mechanics where you have to touch the paddle to activate certain things, and I didn't want it to like mess around with that. Do you have track for the playtime on beta? I don't have a tracker on playtime unless you submit the analytics. Like I don't have an analytics, what's it called, platform that submits it for me and for me to understand it. But there are some time, right? This time is being played for 4 minutes and 16 seconds. For the older leaderboards, you can also see here that people have been playing for less than an average of 4 minutes, 3 minutes. You know, so that's my way of kind of tracking it. But you bring up a good point. Maybe this is something that I need to keep track of. Today's finally up to 32 today. Yesterday was 27. That is wild, Spectre. Just get something really simple in and get that time frame average. Okay. I wonder if there's any free tools out there for analytics that I can use. Mono, are you still there, bro? Do you have any? I can't. I mean, but if I make it, I would have to like create my own API and all of that, right? And host it somewhere. That's a good point, Qglow. About getting the average time frame. All right, something I do want to show off real quick before I jump back into studying is this here real quick. I'm working on a brand new power-up called Deadshot. I mean, y'all have seen this power-up before, right? Y'all seen this one here. This is like one of the legendary power-ups that you can earn as you keep going through the game, right? I mean, can you just get it from the leaderboards as you already showed? Add a user and search. I can, Qclo. The problem is you have to submit the leaderboard. Like you have to create an account. You have to be okay with submitting the leaderboard. And that is probably a lot on the user unless they want to do it. What's up, DM Bull? Dímelo, mi pana. A new week has started for yourself. How's it going, man? How's it work? You can use a BAS. You don't have to make the API from scratch. Yeah, Lomasco, that's what I'm thinking too. Is there any free services out there? Possibly Firebase free plan could do it. Mono, yeah, I was just asking, bro, do you know any free mobile analytics platforms that I could use to capture some analytics on my game without requiring the user to use it? If you have it, cool. If not, that's okay too. You vibing? I got you. That's funny. Use Grafana Cloud for web. Oh, PostHog. I've heard about PostHog actually. Okay, I might look into it if it's something that's free for me to use. I do like their UI too. That's a pretty slick UI. It looks like you're in a desktop. That's cool. All right, let me show you all this real quick before I jump into studying. AppWrite, Superbase, stuff like that. Gotcha, Lamasco. I do have access to Superbase too, so maybe that's something to take a look into. I'm getting a crash here every time I get to the boss. Let me tell Cursor about this. Cursor. Who's using Cursor nowadays? I don't think anybody's using Cursor. Okay, let me open a brand new one here. I'm using Cursor, bro. I wouldn't use Cursor personally, but yeah, super base nurses guy. You're using Google though, right? So you can't just use Google Analytics. I mean, how am I capturing the analytics for iOS folks? I guess is my question. TUI are temporary and restrictive in my opinion. What's TUI, Biombo? Google Analytics Firebase goes to do it for the beta and I'm sure. Yeah, I have never used Google Analytics before, but maybe that's something I could try. Oh, terminal interface. Are temporary and restrictive in your opinion? I mean, bro, if you're using Claude, I would highly recommend trying this one. They've recently released a blog post about 17 AI. 17, what was it? Twinkie posted it in my Discord. It was a really good read, but I forgot everything already. But this IDE, and the IDE is kind of like a quick terminal for Claude, and does a lot of multiple sessions in parallel for you. It uses Git work trees under the hood and all of that, and it's very lightweight. So I prefer something like this than Cursor, to be honest, because Cursor be getting in my way. You can use the open source version. You don't have to use your cloud service if you're not comfortable with it. Got you, Lamasco, got you. This guy. I have not, and I have, what's it called? My subscription to Cursor just finished, so I haven't looked at it in a bit. Okay. I'm gonna look into PostHog and then game analytics, because I've heard good things about PostHog. Several people that I know actually use it. I'm assuming you haven't seen it yet. Weren't you all into Cursor at the beginning? I was, because it was my first intro to AI world, I guess. But the more I use it, the more limited I felt it was. So yeah. Let me show y'all something real quick, all right? As I mentioned before, y'all seen this power up before. I have this plasma beam power up. Then I also have this other power up. One second, y'all. Nope, not accepting that call. Nope. All right, music, come back. Music, play again, please. By the way, your animations are clean, but not the UI. Thank you, Lomasco. All in work in progress. I don't know, to be honest. LLMs are not cheap in my opinion. I mean, yeah. I'm still heavy cloud user though. Cursor second, so I can use GPT 5.4. Gotcha. Bro, have you tried Codex at all? I don't know if Codex uses GPT 5.4 under the hood. Lomasco, all opinions, are accepted over here. We can talk about it. So there's this other power up that I don't know if y'all remember about it. Ah, shoot, I can't get it. I need to tap on the animation. Okay, anyways, there's a final. Oh, did I get it there? Yeah, so y'all can see here. Then there's this, and then there's this power up. Of course, I'm ignoring your heckling. Look at this power up. This one is OP, and I gotta fix it. Right? That's a crazy power up. But the last one that I've been working on recently is this one. And I think it's pretty cool. Oh, but if I can, yeah, if I can. All right, hold on. I need to give y'all a better look at what it looks like. It's called Deadshot, and the idea is, if this would even go, obviously there's a bug. The idea of Deadshot is you can aim where you want the ball to. Oh my gosh, I suck at this game. That vibration flicker hurts my eyes a little, FYI. Sounds good. Sounds good. I need to definitely fix that. What's it called? Oh, that's a bug. I need to fix the animations. That it doesn't even fit the palettes right now, like the colors that we have. So I need to fix all my animations on that. Sorry, my colors and yeah, animations for that power up. But last one, let me just show that shot again. This is the latest one I'm working on. So the idea is you can shoot somewhere, and once you shoot, it becomes a laser that you can bro, the ball won't shoot. That's a bug I need to fix. It's basically becomes a small little beam that if you can shoot it through the cracks and it goes all the way to the top, and it hits the top, the last point of collision, it will spawn a laser that will then go all the way down and damage all of the blocks with your current damage of the ball, whatever stat that is. So it's a cool mechanic, I think. Yeah, I know, Lomasco. I've done quite a bit on it. I've been having fun with it. Honestly, I wish it could make some money. Because I don't think it will. I was thinking about this the other day, that the only way of me earning money from this is this button here, continue run. Because when you hit that, it will show you an interstitial ad. And if people enjoy the game, that's the only point of revenue that I can get for now. So, but all in all, it's a good experience. It's something I can talk about. It's something I hope people will enjoy, because I like it. I feel like I put a lot into it, but we'll see. Pick a rip help, this guy. Great feedback. Cloud works super well for my workflow, and don't want to get distracted on the GPT versus Cloud or this versus that BS. Gets in the way of my productivity. I mean, I wouldn't say you can frame it that way, Bull. I wouldn't frame it personally as like this Claude versus Codex. I think they both have their pros and their cons. What I would say, and this is what I've done, and I can show you too. But let's say I have this. Let me show you here. So let's say I have this. I have Claude right here, right? And then I have this skill that I install called Skill Codex. And what this Skill Codex does is it takes it delegates some of the work to Codex. So you can have them both together. I can have one review the code while I'm developing certain thing. Or if I know, because what I've noticed is that Claude is good at the big thinking. Personally, that's my opinion. It's good at like the planning and seeing everything from a bird's eye view. But Codex is very good at doing the nitty-gritty actual coding stuff. So what I normally would have it do is like have it plan everything out and then delegate the actual work to Codex itself. So I mean, I just using them the same if you want. I mean, I have access to both, so that's why I'm using both. But yeah, I got you. That makes sense. That makes sense, Dimble. To each their own. Yeah, I see that. I see that. I'm way out of touch when it comes to AI. I have no idea what you're talking about when it comes to the models. I don't use them for coding like almost at all. Lomasco, well, I would highly encourage you to try it out and use it for coding, because the more and more I'm in these interview processes, the more I'm noticing that they're asking AI specific questions. So I would definitely, at least to brush yourself up on it if you're gonna get into the interview pipeline anytime soon. Yeah, I hear you, Diambo. You know, it is my opinion. I'm trying not to get caught up in which one or the other. What I do use them both for is, well, one gives me way more limits than the other one, and I have them just do extra work. So I'm having one do something else while I'm doing the other thing, and then comparing whenever I get a chance to compare them. But most of the times it's just to get the product out. This game in particular has gone through Codex, has gone through Cursor, and has gone through Claude. And I think right now Claude has been the one that's getting me closer to where I want to be when it comes from like a discussion level. Because when was it? The first time Qclo came and he gave me a bunch of this feedback, I went on a like 3-hour binge of me just conversing with Claude and breaking down, planning out exactly the direction I wanted to go with the whole UI redesign of the game and with these power-ups that I've been playing around with. And that was really helpful to get me down to the nitty-gritty and eventually delegate the actual groundwork of writing the code to other LLMs. So yeah, I think so too. I think GPT is pretty verbose. Well, there you go. I gotta do that caveman skill. I don't know if y'all heard about the caveman skill. Only weenies use Codex. I mean, bro, you know, weenies get the beanies. I don't know. I'm trying to defend myself. I use Cloud for everything, big picture and general stuff. I use Gwen 2.5 Coder for dev stuff. Yeah, and that's the point where I want to get to. Heck Inspector, which is to use Claude with Olama. Sorry, not Olama, but with Qwen under the hood. So there's a skill I can install to get into Claude so that I can then have it prompt the Olama models or like Qwen, and then have it do the whole planning with Claude, and then or I could use like a project tracker, for instance, have it do everything there, give all the instructions, and then have another LLM like Qwen to pick it up and work. No, Eduardo, no tiene musiquita, así que no he tenido el tiempo para enfocarme en la música. Eso sería algo que me enfoco al final. O si tú tienes ideas, tíramelo. What is this? Set it Sentry in your project. And Sentry, this is the analytics thing I'm guessing, right? For Sentry employees. How is this open source then? Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, we will see, but I don't like them, and I'm dealing with it as a craft so far that I'm shaping. And when the time comes for jobs, then we will see. For now, I prefer doing stuff by hand. Got you, Lamasco. That makes sense, bro. To each their own. To each your own, right? I understand if that's something that, you know, you want to prioritize. if you have a job right now that's you know, not AI forward, and you're okay where you are, bro, go for it, man. I do feel that I'm losing some skills personally by using AI, because a lot of the knowledge, and y'all are gonna see me struggle here in a bit, because I'm about to jump into an Android project right now by hand, and I'm gonna time myself. A lot of those projects, you know, that whole setting up, being comfortable with setting up your MVVM or your repository layers and installing Gradle and all of that, is a skill that I am forgetting because it's something I don't have to think about it. I think that's one thing. One is definitely the sorry, I got a text message. Yeah. One of it is working in big tech. You don't normally install dependencies yourself. There's teams that has to go through different approvals to install certain dependencies if you want to use a brand new library, for instance. So that's me already forgetting about that. And two, using AI is not something I really need to think about that much, because it does a really good job actually when you have skills in place to understand how to incorporate a dependency in your project. So it's not something I really have had to focus on, but I do know that these companies, whenever you go to the interview process, they want you to see you open Android Studio and not rely on AI for certain things, and that's where I'm struggling a bit. So yeah. It was this one. What's that song, Spectre? Agent skills, production grade engineering skills for AI coding agents. Skill encodes the workflows, quality gates, and best practices that senior engineers use when building software. These ones are packaged so AI agents follow them consistently across every phases of development. Ideas, spec, plan, build, test, review. This is interesting. Forget all the description. The skills are good to add to your global or per project. Gotcha. Oh my gosh. So, okay, question. Have y'all heard about, I'm gonna keep this open and review it afterwards. But I will definitely, I mean, it seems like a good workflow for any like development cycle. So having AI already knowing how to do these things. Yeah, okay. I should use this for my next project. Have y'all ever heard about this one? Beads. I heard about it over the weekend. I think CM Griffin spoke about it on a chat or something. I saw him talking about this. I don't really know what it is for. I haven't really dove into it, but several other people that I mentioned about beads, they're like, oh yeah, you need to use it. It's really good. But I really don't know what it's for. So do y'all know what this is for or what it helps with? Quick start with beads. We're design for the agents, but it's a bit from the ground up. You need a 4-4 hash. These. Look, swag, this guy. Anota este, arroba de TikTok. ¿Este quién es, Eduardo? Esta es la que... Game audio. Okay, okay. You want the link for beads? Who cares? Yeah, that makes sense, Diembo. Here you go, who cares? I'll drop it in the chat. Eduardo, ahí lo tengo y estaré pendiente. Entonces, voy a chequear el TikTok de ella, a ver qué dice. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Dimble. And I think that's the whole reason why the game has gotten more polished, is because I've been only focusing on that one. But I'm not gonna lie, I have like 3 other projects I'm working on the side, and I have agents just do it for me. But the more I do that, the more I realize it does need my attention. Or maybe I didn't define the specs correctly. Plus, there's this whole like junk clutter in my brain that I'm like worrying about that project while working on this project, while thinking about my job, while like thinking about this streaming, and you know, a bunch of different things. So yeah, I need to like lower that context that I have down. Te va a hacer cuando tengas ya camelito y le pidas algo. Le puedes pedir un pack completo por $300 de 25 sonidos. Ah, listo. Brother, entonces, pero me hace falta hacer $300 primero. Y después le puedo pedir. Porque no jodas. Let me see here. Sorry, I gotta answer this message. Okay. All right. We're trying to be super productive, just not good long term. Everyone is going to burn out faster. I mean, that's what was happening at Square, bro. That was exactly what was happening at Square. So, yeah, you know, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Also, it's mass coping from everyone. They're trying to do everything they can because they don't know what the future will hold. So people are trying to build as much as possible. That's true too. I mean, you know, a lot of my inner circle, they're just waiting for the AI bubble to pop. Like it's gonna pop at some point. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. It was good to see you again, man, but I will go off now. There is a book I'm enjoying lately, and I want to go read a little now. All right, Lomasco, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Enjoy your reading. Thank you so much for being here on the YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to your boy. And hopefully I get to see you sometime soon. You be safe, man. All right. I am going to work on my resume off screen. Right, because I don't want to share some stuff I have on there. I'm sure I've said it here a month ago. I said AI bubble too, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But hey, I'm fine with changing opinions. You know, hey, yeah, you did say before. I know you want to see my personal info, but I don't want you to see my personal info. I gotta fix this up. Thank you, Lomasco. You have a great rest of your day. You know, I think, yeah, we'll see exactly the info. But who knows? They might make another deal with the government. You know, I wonder how is Block's stock doing? So horrible. Granted, when I joined, yeah, I have not been able to. Anyways, base insider sale. Okay. Anyways, why I'm talking about Block is because, oh, John to the, oh, thank you for being a sub over there on the YouTubes. I saw some of the heavy hitters that work at Block left after those mass layoffs. Yes, exactly. A lot of them did. A lot of people who went from Google over to Block were already on the fence of leaving based on the direction it was going. Also, yeah, it's just a hot mess. You know, they pushed a lot of the AI over, and at the end of the day, you know, it was a lot of wrappers on top of these other services like OpenAI or Claude. So like, it's just a matter for them to lose traction of that. Might need to redo my Firebot or something. Why? What's going on? Your Firebot is fired. Yeah. Yeah, bro. It did not turn on the spins. I didn't tell it to not turn on spins, but I'm glad it didn't because I do need to freaking focus on this. And I think if we do the spins, I'm gonna get derailed.
Okay. Well,
2017 plus 7, that's
Dude,
2024.
my stupid R2.
Plus 9, so 9, I'll do 9 plus yours.
Oh my god, some baby. Look at my black ass teeth.
Is it showing stuff?
Look at my black ass teeth. I don't brush my shit, goddammit.
Damn, bro, did you have a green screen?
Black ass teeth. You don't need no brush
Green
your
screen,
teeth to have
green
some good
screen.
teeth, baby.
I don't know what's up with the shout out, bro. It's all broken. Okay, I have a lot of the feedback here in my text messages, so let me see here.
Alright, so
Fix that. Find a way to sneak in the word monitor and metrics. It is working. Yeah, you can see it. I know, bro. Y'all leave Who Cares alone.
Okay. Well, it's terrible timing.
Alright, let me know if y'all what y'all think
my
about
stupid
this.
R2 buttons.
Let me know what y'all think about this. Alright. Under Square Android Engineer, Senior Android Engineer under Square. I have operational tooling. It says, develop an internal AI-driven tool to aggregate incident data from Jira, PagerDuty, and Slack, automating weekly handoff reports and monthly retrospectives to improve team operational efficiency. That sounds good to me. You know, this guy, Spectre, stop it. Okay. KDS infrastructure. Maybe that's some, I shouldn't say KDS. Engineered a localized network syncing integration for KDS using SQLite and Flow. Replace unstable in-memory state management with a persistent database layer to ensure offline reliability for high-volume kitchens. It sounds good. The only thing that throws it off here is the KDS keyword because they don't know anything about KDS. Incident management and reliability own the full cycle of production incident response during on-call rotations, responsible for detecting system failures, coordinating stabilization efforts with cross-functional teams, and providing technical updates for status page communications. That's standard for anybody who worked at Square in on-call, but it is something that I did. Quality and testing, establish the automated UI testing infrastructure from scratch, implementing 20+ test suites, navigation, printing, snapshot testing within the core Square monorepo. Okay. I need to add some like monitoring or some metrics. And rename KDS. Okay, let me see if ChatGPT can help me with this here. For Gemini, actually. Not ChatGPT. Help me reframe this. recruiter or interviewer wouldn't know because I worked with the local network synchronization system for restaurant operation products using SQL Delight, Kotlin Flow replace fragile in-memory state with presence that was layer to improve offline reliability and yeah, they could just rename it infrastructure. Develop an offline first synchronization system for a restaurant operations platform using SQL Delight and Kotlin Flow. Replace fragile in-memory state handling with durable database-backed storage to support reliability in high-volume kitchen environments. I like that. I like that one. And then we're going to rename it from KDS infrastructure to just infrastructure. And take this out with this. Develop an offline first synchronization system for a restaurant operations platform using SQL Delight and Kotlin Flow. Replace fragile in-memory state handling with durable database-backed storage to support reliability in high-volume kitchen environments. That's true. That's true. CSAS. Okay. Incident management and reliability. Yeah, let's see here. Could we mention monitoring or metrics as I used Datadog and Bugsnag to help identify and investigate during incident. Save my points on Mr. Who Cares to get him to convert mission control to Python. How many points you need, bro? That would be crazy. Reliability and incident response. Led production incident response during on-call rotations by monitoring alerts, investigating failures with Datadog and Bugsnag, coordinating cross-functional mitigation efforts, and translating technical impact into clear status page updates. That sound 50k points, man. That's cheap, bro. That's cheap. Yeah, I would put it up to 100k, bro. Personally. Head production incident response to on-call rotations using Datadog and Bugsnag tech investigation. I guess I like that maybe. Let's see here. Reliability and incident response. Lead production incident response during on-call rotations using Datadog and Bugsnag to detect, investigate, and triage failures. Coordinate mitigation with cross-functional teams and provide technical updates for customer-facing status communications. That makes sense. Include pickle spears, bro. No, y'all are tripping. I know. And you need to go to bed, Mono. It's too late, bro. Go to bed. Quality and testing. Establish the automated UI system for infrastructure. Okay, that I think makes sense. Okay, let me send this to my homies. See what they think. Jalapeno filled and blue cheese filled. Bro, one last buck. That's what we always say, Mono. Go to bed, bro. I picked up 2 different olives from my punishment wheel. Bro, you know what? Hungry Hippo's not here, but Hungry Hippo and who cares invested in the pickle squishy whatever candy, and it's already been shipped to my house. So that's gonna be something soon. It probably will be here by Friday when we'll enable the things. Okay. Come on, bro. All right, I got that here. 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 What? Why is my message is not sending? Come on, baby. Work, work, work. Okay, while that's running, let me keep reviewing. Under Procore architectural standards, it is fine as is, optionally rephrased to something that you got buy into migrate to a consistent architecture. Evangelize MVVM repository partner and solid principle across the organization to ensure a scalable and maintainable code base. Yeah, we need to reword that a little bit. Let's see here. So then what we want to say is rephrase it to something like got by into migrate to a consistent architecture. What is that, bro? Jelly Bean 7th edition Bean Boozle spinner gift box? What is this? Hell no, bro. Hell no. Peach barf? No, no, no. Dead fish? No, bro. Stinky socks? Burnt rubber? Stink bug? Wet dog? Bro, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Web, brother. Nope. That is bad. Architecture standards drove buy-in across Android teams to migrate toward a consistent architecture centered on MVVM, the repository pattern, and solid principles, improving maintainability and scalability across the code base. Okay, this is good. Second one is the Fiery Edition. I mean, I'm okay with doing spicy stuff. I'd much rather doing spicy stuff than gross stuff. Okay, this does make my stuff a bit longer, my resume a bit longer. Why is my Google Messages not working, homie? You're gonna order them for your wheel? Bro, you're brave. You're brave. I think this is enough here. Just send it over, can you please? Why is it not sending the image over? And I don't have Signal installed, do I? I don't. Okay, one thing I can do though is SRCP. Yeah, I can use SRCP. So I can copy and paste my text message. Dope. Can I paste it in here? I think I can, right? Can I just, okay. Let me see this here. Cool. Where's Finder? Bro. Desktop, screenshot. Can I drag this in here? Cool. Perf. All right, let's see what happens here. This is done. Cool. All right, I think my resume is practically there. My wife did send me a few feedback points. Let me just go over that real quick. More AI tooling. Okay, let me see here. I need help constructing a small sentence or paragraph with a title that would be bolded. And then the content will basically explain a little bit of my process when using AI in the workspace. So for instance, at Square, my typical day would involve me seeing the task that I have at hand. I would do some research with potential solutions. So for instance, let's say I need to write a particular unit test on a pattern for a reactive flow that I have not been comfortable with. So I would use AI to help explain to me what a different unit test was doing with this reactive flow. And so I can understand it. Then I would use AI to plan out what the work could be and then execute it. Then I would co-review it manually and then pull up the PR. I would also use Git work trees to be able to work in parallel using AI for that matter. Okay, let's see what it says. Here's a clean version you can use in your resume, portfolio, working style, AI assisted development workflow. I use AI as a top partner to accelerate research, clarify familiar patterns, and help structure implementation plans for writing code. In practice, that often means using AI to break down existing examples, explain testing, reactive flows, manually review the code correctness, and prepare the final PR. I also use Git work trees to split tasks and parallel. Dímelo, Pedro, Dev. What's good, my guy? How you doing? Experimentation as to the foundation. What you got going on today? A tighter version if you want something shorter. I use AI to research solutions, understand familiar patterns, and plan implementation before coding. It is especially useful for breaking down existing tests or reactive flow. We don't need to explain that it's good for reactive flow patterns. How's it going? It's going, my guy. It's going better. I am revising my resume right now. Sorry, I have a text message here. I have a bunch of different stuff going on. I am revising my resume right now because I need to find a new job. So I am setting it up. I need to send this over to a few people that I know. I'm also preparing for some interviews that I have coming up. I have one later on this afternoon with Venmo. So I'm just here kind of studying, kind of like vibe coding my game. Also just revamping my resume a bit. But yeah, that's what I got going on. How about yourself? Just work. Gotcha. Hey, man. At least you got a job, bro. Gracias, mi pana Tocino. Gracias. Sí, mi brother, lo necesito. Muchas gracias. Just work so far makes sense. You know, I recently got laid off. That's the whole reason why I'm in this predicament, having to go over leak code, having to go over revamp of you know, all of this stuff. Sorry, I have a bunch of different things going on because I have some friends that are in the industry that are texting me right now about some certain things. So I'm like, I'm doing 6 things at once. You know what I mean? But yeah, Pedro, are you a dev as well? Sounds like you are. What kind of dev are you? Oh, you do web dev on stream. Dope. Let's go then. Following you immediately, bro. You're a streamer. I got you. Following you. Hopefully I get to catch one of your streams. Doing regular IT stuff as a day job. Gotcha. So I'm a mobile engineer. I've been doing Android since 2017. I've done a bunch of iOS as well, native Android development and native iOS development. But lately I've been exploring a lot of Kotlin Multiplatform. So I have several apps that I've been building on the side as my indie projects. But my regular day job, it has entailed doing mobile development as well. But you know, like I said, I recently lost my job. So yes, sir. Not a lot of Java. I did that early on in my career, like in 2014 to 2017. I did Java, but this is what my background was. I was a PHP/Ruby on Rails developer, but I really wanted to do mobile. So at the first company I worked, they had a mobile application that was being built by a mobile engineer, and I wanted to do that too. So I told my boss, I was like, hey, yo, you know, I will do all my work that you want me to get done, but also can you let me get some tasks for Android? That way I can learn Android and do mobile development as well. And I was like, I told him it's not gonna compromise my job or anything, just, you know, can I get that extra work? And it was a tough period of time because I was working like 14-hour shifts basically for a minute, but that gave me the experience to eventually apply for a job in 2017 as a mobile developer. And since then I switched my career using Kotlin, which was funny enough, when I applied for that job in 2017, it was the summer of 2017. And the reason I remember it is because that was the summer that Google announced that they will support Kotlin as a first language for Android development. So when I got the job, it was for a brand new project, and they told me, hey, by the way, we don't want you to write this in Java, we want you to write it in Kotlin. So I've been doing it since then. Thank you, man, appreciate it. appreciate it. Well, I like this, especially the last one that was shorter, but I think we need it even more shorter. It doesn't need to specify certain things like reactive flow patterns, for instance. But mentioning git work trees to explore tasks in parallel, that sounds good. Doing the research solutions, that sounds good. Understanding unfamiliar patterns, that's great. I think I want to capture what my workflow looks like, but it doesn't really need the specifics. But yeah, so right now I'm working, like I said, on my resume. I'm trying to revamp it. I have a buddy of mine who is waiting for my resume to go over to him. I also saw a position from Dropbox, and I reached out to my buddy who works at Dropbox. So I'm hoping I get something for him as well to see where we're going. Sorry. All right, let's see here. AI assisted workflow. I use AI to research solutions, understand familiar patterns, and plan implementation before coding. I manually validate the work, view the code, and prepare the final PR while using Git work trees to explore tasks in parallel. Interesting. I do think so, Pedro. I personally have one project here, and I'll show you. If you ever want to go to my website, feel free to do so. But here on the projects, I have I released a baby. It's a simple app, this baby gender app, and it brings me maybe like one sale a month, and it's on iPhone and Android. And I built this using KMP. I've also been able to. It has more downloads on Apple than it does on Android, but it's been pretty stable. Granted, it's something super simple. However, what is it? I know, for real. But I know, stop it, bro. I'm also building a game right now, but that's in Godot. That's something different. It's a mobile game. But with my experience, Kotlin Multiplatform has evolved to a point where it can be used in production level applications. I've seen it done at Square. That's where I used to work before I got laid off. At Square, there were several libraries that were built using Kotlin Multiplatform. We used a lot of SQLite over there, which helped with the cross database solution. Especially if you want to package your stuff in your own little libraries that you can ship out. What else? There's other places that I've seen where Kotlin. Bro, are you seriously doing this right now, Spectre? Oh my gosh. Hey, my wife just did my hair today, man. I don't want to wear the hat. What's up, Ellis Preacher? How you going, my guy? I got you. We got this one. How about that? Swap the glasses? Bet. Okay, that's much better. Yeah, Pedro, so if you stick around long enough on the stream, you realize that we do a lot of crazy stuff over here, especially on Friday. If you decide to come back. Oh my gosh, did I just break this? No, did I just break this? I've been building this Lego One Piece. One Piece is my favorite anime. Not anime, manga, rather. And I've been building this. I really did break this, didn't I? Like this? Like that. Bro, okay, I'm gonna have to look at this after the stream because I feel like I'm breaking everything. But yeah, I've been building this. Lego One Piece ship. And on Friday, I'm gonna be focusing only on building the ship, but also we have spins that are turned on. Yes, is it the Mayflower? The Sunny, man. But no, yeah. We are gonna be building it on Friday. Continue building it, as well as taking pickle shots if the odds fall in your favor. Asked about how is system design studying going. Oh, you did? I didn't see that, Illustrator. I've been so locked in reading this, or maybe I didn't get a notification. Oh, I see it all the way up here. My fault. Yeah. How is system design going? I think system design is going pretty decent. If you have any system design question, throw it my way and I'll try to answer it. Good practice for me. But yeah, Better Dev, yeah, all in all, I'd say I'm a mobile developer, and KMP is something that I personally built on here. For instance, I have this app that I'm building is built on KMP, and this other app that I'm building that's built on KP. You better stop, John, to that. Oh, One Piece is not poo. One Piece is the best thing ever, my guy. So stop it. All right, stop it. All right, let's get back to this here. Calm down, bro. I gotta defend it. I gotta defend One Piece. What you mean? All right. I use AI to research solutions, understand unfamiliar patterns, and plan implementation before coding. I manually validate the work, review the code, and prepare the final PR while using Git workflows to explore tasks in parallel. I use AI to accelerate research, clarify unfamiliar pattern. I use AI to speed up research. Mono, you still not asleep, bro? I agree with that, bro. I agree with that. The nightcap part, not the part where you gotta stay up all late. You fix the bugs. Congrats, bro. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I am talking about, my person. My God. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Nope. Nope. I thought you meant some type of other nightcap, bro. Not that. I don't agree that Sailor Moon is better than One Piece. I do not. If anything, I would say Saint Saiyans is better. Is it Saint Saiyans? Saint Seiya is better than Sailor Moon. That's what I would say. All right, I need to give it a piece of my resume so we can know. Border better than One Piece, you tripping. I am back on work. Fairly confident with SMS, WhatsApp, email, and Slack now. Tomorrow night, webhooks. Cool. And remind me again, some of these things are free, but some are paid subscription based, right? All free. Oh, cool. And you said it didn't cost you much. Solutions, code, and managing parallel explorations with work trees. Use AI to speed up research, understand familiar code. Incorporate AI into day-to-day development for research, code comprehension, implementation planning, while retaining hands-on ownership, validation, and delivery. That makes sense. This sounds good, but I would love to mention Git work trees because I don't think a lot of people use Git work trees. SMS has its limits. Stop it, Spectre. So we can give a few free per month without breaking the bank. It's pay per message, I see. Pay per message. Use AI to accelerate research, clarify familiar patterns, and plan it. Yeah, I like this one the best. Yeah, I think I agree with that. My resume is a little bit beefy though. All right, I'm gonna have to take this off stream real quick because I don't want to reveal some personal stuff. I'm attempting this here. I am about to send this resume over to Reddit for a senior Android engineer position and also to Dropbox for the same position. Can you assess this resume for me and let me know if we need to trim out some of the fat or where we can improve certain things? No, don't send that. Copy. Perfect. I surely need to trim the fat. I mean, bro, I need to too. I started getting a little belly at the bottom. And I realized that I mean, even though I play basketball once, maybe twice a week, I have not been lifting weights or doing like crunches or anything. I need to just start doing some I mean, I do 100 calf raises a day. I drop my push-ups though. Maybe I need to bring back that up. I need to bring up my sit-ups and also need to bring up my abs. That's the main one. Bring up the abs. Because abs make you jump higher. I'm reading it like a recruiter first, then like hiring manager second. I point out what feels strong, what feels noisy. Okay, does this mention anything about my location? It does not. So I can show the stuff. Ready, right. Is already strong. You clearly read as a real senior engineer, and the score experience carries weights. I'm in a zone right now, Mr. Who Cares. Not gonna do push-ups right now. Cause look, I have my call with Venmo is in 2 hours, so at least I want to get some stuff knocked out in 1 hour. Like I want to jump into a quick like CRUD application, time myself for that on Android, and right now I'm a little bit behind time. Let me see here. My honest take, you do not have a weak resume problem, you have a focus and density problem. Interesting. Less internal wording, less resume real estate spent on weaker or older bullets. Right now the resume says senior Android engineer, strong Kotlin architecture. Yeah. All right, bro. Come on. I'm not gonna change the camera though because I gotta reset it up. So y'all gotta hear. Look, we're doing it now, okay? We're doing it now. Let's go for it. Fuck, man. All right. I already did 20 this morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Alright, bro. I knocked it up, bro. I knocked it out. I can't say I'm doing excuses now. Sheesh. Diciéndome que está haciendo excusas. No jodas. Alright. What weakens it a bit, some bullets are too wordy. A few bullets sound abstract instead of outcome driven. The AI bullet feels optional and is probably the first thing I'd trim. All the roles are taking up more room than they should. Summer is decent, but a little too generic and product specific in ways that may not help. Biggest recommendation for a senior Android engineer role at Reddit or Dropbox, I would make the resume feel more like Android systems engineer with Kotlin architecture. Okay. This means trimming anything that does not strengthen the story. Tying in the story, your current summary is solid, but POS and KDS system is probably too specific for the top summary. Current, senior engineer with 9+ experience of Kotlin, reactive architecture, blah blah. Building Kotlin-based mobile systems at scale. Strong background in reactive architecture. Performance optimizations, offline first systems, and production reliability across complex multimodal codices. This sounds really good, actually. I'm gonna switch it to that. Here's the thing, though. A lot of it feels difficult to talk about. I need to make sure my stories are aligned and I can really speak about these things easily. Bro, it's this keyboard, man. Now you don't need the heater anymore. That's what exercise does to you, man. I know, I kind of felt a little pump after doing those push-ups. Senior Android engineer with 9+ years of experience building scalable Kotlin applications, improving mobile architecture, and driving reliability in complex production systems. Experience in offline first design, reactive streams, multi-module mono repos, and cross-functional technical leadership. Okay, I do like this one too, more than the other one. Skill section. Dímelo, Andri Ordev, ¿cómo estás? Time for shrimp. ¿Estás en mi país o duro? Pues, ¿en mi país de donde soy o en el país en que vivo? ¿Cuál de los dos? Llegaste el viernes a Bogotá, duro. ¿Y qué haces por allá? Damn, bro, this is... How to get rid of the... Ahora ando a lo nómada en un hostal con mi laptop. Oh, qué duro. Qué chimba poder hacer eso en verdad. ¿Te mudaste? Listo. Pues ojalá que le estés pasando bien por allá. Allá es donde vive mi abuela. Ya está en Bogotá. Ahí vamos poco a poco. ¿Tú cómo vas con la búsqueda de chamba? Yo tengo que buscar chamba también. Ahorita tengo 2, pero no alcanza. Brother, pues en verdad, hoy tengo una entrevista con Venmo. Y ojalá al final de esta semana voy a tener una entrevista con Reddit y otra con Dropbox. Así que a ver qué está pasando. Estamos estudiando un montón. Ahorita mismo estoy arreglando mi CV y a ver qué pasa. A ver qué pasa. Pues sí, gracias a Dios he tenido la oportunidad de trabajar con gente que han llegado a esas compañías. Si quieres me cuentas tu secreto. Mi secreto, brother, es que yo hablo mucho. Hablo con todo el mundo. Todo el que pase conmigo siempre. Yo creo que es una... ¿Cuál es la palabra? When you say quality. Es uno de mis superpoderes que digamos. Que yo puedo hablar con todo el mundo y me escuchar a toda la gente y poder conocer en verdad qué es esa persona o qué es lo que ellos hacen. Y eso me ha dado la oportunidad de poder hacer conexiones que gracias a hoy en día me ha ayudado a abrir puertas, ¿me entiendes? Mira, a mí eso me falta, ese soft skill no lo tengo, brother, hay que practicarlo. Dímelo, tecnócrata, dímelo, ¿cómo estás? ¿En qué andas hoy, mam, tecnócrata? Brother, yo no puedo decir, es que el español se me está yendo, así que mala mía. Es mi don y mi maldición. Primero que nada, buenas tardes, people, me gusta. ¿Cómo estás? Espero que estés bien. Ahorita estoy aquí y hay un japonés, portugués, gringos y con ninguno de ellos he hablado. Brother, esa es tu oportunidad de hablar con ellos, Andri. ¿Tú no quisieras algún día poder ir a Japón o poder ir a Portugal o poder ir a ver a llegar a los Estados Unidos? Esta es una oportunidad de tú poder hablar con ellos y aprender de por qué ellos quieren estar allá en Colombia, ¿me entendés? Eso es una oportunidad tremenda y yo lo que te diría es que trata de que ellos hablen más de ellos mismos, a que tú hables de ti mismo.
Nothing.
Fired
Just
up
give me
Gemma
more keys
for
and the
in
two
Alama.
pickles.
So far it is feeling real nice. What Gemma model, what is that good at, Spectre? Ahorita mirando un rato el Twitch buscando canales de SNGD para buscar algo extra de inspiración. Listo. ¿Y a qué te dedicas, tecnócrata? ¿Eres ingeniero también? Qué buen tipo eso, callarme y escuchar. Bro, mira, la verdad, mira, todo el mundo quiere hablar de sí mismo. Esa es la realidad. La gente, cuando tú hablas, la mayoría de la gente quiere hablar de sí mismo. Así que si tú hablas con ellos y les haces preguntas de lo que están hablando, te callas, escuchas y trata de en verdad reconocer lo que están diciendo, así uno crea conexiones más fáciles. Y esas conexiones, como te he dicho, a mí me ha abrido varias puertas. Yo, gracias a Dios, he podido trabajar a Snapchat por eso, he podido trabajar para Square por eso, y ahora tengo conexiones con Reddit y Dropbox y situaciones así, y es por hacer el networking. El networking va un montón. Sí, soy ingeniero y también me gusta la programación. Aunque aún me resbalo con el inglés, es interesante que puedas dominar los dos idiomas. Gracias, mi pana. Es que yo soy colombiano, nacido por ahí en Colombia y gracias a Dios, de donde yo soy, allá hablamos inglés primero que todo, o más bien hablamos creole primero que todo en las islas de donde yo soy. Y cuando vine a los Estados Unidos a eso de los 15 años, se me hizo muy fácil recoger el inglés. Y ahorita pues tengo los 3 lenguajes o idiomas que conozco. Pero qué chévere, man. ¿Has trabajado en algún proyecto por ti solo? ¿O algún proyecto que has subido? Dices que te gusta la programación, pero ¿en qué? ¿En móvil? ¿En backend? ¿En web? Purposely built for advanced reasoning and agentic workflows. Oh, so it helps with like workflows for development. Maximum computer memory efficient. So you can run this in Olama? Interesting. That's pretty cool. Let me know how it goes, bro, and how you used it. Maybe you can build your game using it. Este es el pico papi. Le encanta el jugo de pepinillos y los dulces de pepinillo. No escuches a este man, que no me gusta. Ruby's overlaid. It's okay with some option in this way. Expression is pretty vague. You should probably switch to say strings. Let's just do that. Let's get rid of Ruby. Alright, sounds good, Spectre. Justo este año inicié uno para realizar una app móvil y como NPI de cómo se hace. Me tocó fastidiarle a la IA, en concreto Gemini, y el resultado ha salido muy bien. Chévere. Chévere, brother. Yo también he estado utilizando la IA para crear un juego. Y si te interesa, te puedo enseñar cómo se ve el juego. Va a ser un juego para móvil, para Android y para iOS. Pero yo creo que la IA es algo que uno tiene que, en verdad, ponerse más, ¿cómo se dice? Es una herramienta que uno tiene que utilizar para poder ser un programa. This is the Spanish go from me, brother, man. Se me va el español. La IA es una herramienta que uno tiene que ser muy... uno lo tiene que reconocer y conocer, saber cómo utilizarlo, porque si no, los programadores que utilizan la IA te van a dejar por detrás. Así que es muy bien que lo estás utilizando para aprender. Android. So just say Android Jetpack Compose, coroutines flow, with Lightroom. I don't need to say iOS and Swift, so just say Android. Okay. Testing. Set offline first, architecture directives change. Okay, I guess I'll use some systems. Current version tooling developed internally. Built an entire internal AI-driven tool that aggregated PagerDuty and Slack to the internal person and monthly retrospectives. Bro, much better, much better, much better. I like this. And it's much shorter. Built an offline first synchronization system using SQLite and Kotlin Flow, replacing fragile in-memory state with durable database-backed storage for reliable operation in high-volume environments. That is very true. That was specific to KDS. Decoupled a monolithic event stream into purpose-built reactive streams behind feature flags, reducing UI renders and enabling architectural modernization. How did I reduce UI renders on this case? I'm sure I can talk about it somehow. I'll have AI ask me questions and then we'll respond to it to help me. Across teams, user for customer facing status updates. I think this is good, but I don't like this one being in that order. This makes sense to me. Snapchat bullet is accurately titled. I guess you can just do that thing. So see, I build times and improving developer velocity. Senior quality engineer led 3 engineers to make recognition and focus on feature knowledge. So see, I build times and improve velocity. No, brother, ¿cómo así que le subieron el precio? No. Build internal tooling to streamline end-to-end validation. No, that's not what I meant. Build internal test applications. That makes more sense. Dímelo, Eduardo, ¿cómo así que subieron? ¿Tienes un enlace para verlo? Oh my gosh, what the flip is going on here? Drove cross team buy-in to standardize and good architecture running. Yo, I don't know if any of y'all are there, but Eduardo said that they increased the pricing on Cloud AI. Any of you know anything about that? ¿Lo subieron un montón o qué?
Algo tan frustrante desde una herramienta de desarrollo, sobre la falta de claridad sobre los términos de uso más básicos. Dice, personalmente he preguntado hace 3 semanas y lo único que he recibido han sido más allá, pues, retrasos, ¿no? Y ahora, pues, Boris Cherny, el anuncio, no deja absolutamente nada claro. Y es verdad, es que es muy difícil de saber. Y esto es alucinante, que han sacado un curso para saber qué es lo que entra y qué es lo que no, y ya están cobrando. Son $5.000, pagas una vez, y es un curso que te va a explicar una masterclass, ahora que está de moda decirle máster a cualquier cosa, pues es un máster donde te enseñan cuáles son los límites de Cloud Code, ¿vale? Que te van a decir, Pero
espérate, yo sé que cambiaron mucho, por ejemplo, es que había mucha gente que estaban abusando, o sea, el OpenClaw lo estaban abusando para... ¿Qué pasa con mi música? Espérate. What's up with my music, bro? Why is my music not playing? Huh? What's going on, bro? Boy, espérate. No, you're not. Look at this. Mira, look here. Look at this. I hit play and it immediately goes to pause. I can't hear anything. Can y'all hear the music? No, you're not. Yo creo que van a volver al chambeo, el chambeo. Yo creo que sí, también, pero yo sé que cambiaron mucho los planes de Claude porque había un montón de gente que estaban abusando la suscripción que era $20 al mes para correr OpenClaw. Y OpenClaw estaba encontrando maneras de abusar el límite que estaban utilizando o bypassing, no sé cómo decirlo en español, para poder hacer más cosas con OpenClaw. Por ejemplo, también los límites de Claude AI API, esos lo estaban abusando un montón porque pagaban muy chico o pagaban un poquito menos de dólares y podían hacer más que necesario. Así que yo sé que lo estaban abusando un montón y solo era falta de tiempo para que le ponieran un stop. Y al parecer lo hicieron. Bro, why is this music not working? Exacto, lo mismo. Hablé con Anlevant. Un poquito, sí. Anlevant llegó por acá. Estábamos hablando un poquito y él está haciendo un juego que ya está lo bajé el juego y todo,
Okay.
Eduardo.
Terrible
Que está
timing.
creando.
Dude,
Sí,
my
mi brother.
R2 button.
Así que hace falta que... Pero es que esta es la realidad, Tocino. Estas compañías de la IA no están haciendo dinero. No están haciendo dinero para nada. Like OpenAI, that's not making any money right now. No están haciendo dinero y pues tienen que buscar una manera en donde puedan hacer dinero. Y esta es la única manera de subir el precio. Pero ahora, como tú dijiste, Tocino, están creando una dependencia. Por ejemplo, yo perdí mi trabajo supuestamente por la IA. Mi compañía votó a 4,000 personas porque creen un montón en que la IA puede reemplazar el trabajo que nosotros estábamos haciendo. Y pues ahora estamos en esa situación en donde tal vez te van a cobrar mucho más para utilizar la IA. Más bien, tal vez te cuesta más o menos en contratar una persona junior a que utilizar la IA. Yo creo que vamos a llegar a ese punto. Pero veremos. Bro, what is up with my music, man? I really don't know what's going on with my music. Bro, y'all better not. Bro, I don't think y'all can't mess around with my music. That's the weird thing. What the flip, bro?
I like making my podcast. I don't like making short clips of my podcast. So the AI chooses the best clips.
Is it my headset? Is it what? Did my battery die? What the flip? Bro, I cannot type. Okay, I guess music is not gonna work anymore. Shit. Yo, bro, you have like 5 kids, right? Got any tips for getting a baby that won't eat anything to eat? Cute. So how old is your kid? Is it just a baby? O sea que nos usaron para entrenar sus modelos a nivel mundial y ahora sí a cobrar. Exacto, brother. 1 year and 4 months. What are you trying to feed them? Pon esto de fondo. ¿Qué es esto? Es que nada se me está sonando, brother. Let me restart my headset. Let me see. Hold on. Maybe it's my headset. Maybe the battery's dying. I haven't charged them in like a week. No, it said one is 86%, the other one's 88%. Flip. Bro, no se escucha nada. ¿Tú lo escuchas? Anything that will eat, is there any magic sauce? LOL, tried everything you can think of, and Google now relying on pure magic sauce. Ustedes lo escuchan, pero yo no. Y'all hear? I don't hear anything, bro. I don't know what's going on. But, okay. I guess... You hear rain? Okay. Y'all hear the lo-fi beats? I'll just leave this on for y'all because I cannot hear anything. I don't know what's going on with my audio. But if y'all can hear, cool. I'll just leave this for now. And then I guess I'll take these off because I can't hear anything. So yeah, listo. Mira, Cuplo, I'll say, bro, if they don't want to eat anything at all, try to find something they'll eat. I mean, would they try to eat fruits, for instance? If they don't want to eat fruits, you know, try something like rice. And then little small things, maybe hand food. They're 1 year old, you said 1.5 year old. Try that, she chews it and spits it out. Try that too. Is this something that changed recently for her? Because it might be something that she's going through. You know, it could be that maybe she has something where her stomach is not wanting to hold anything down, and maybe you need to take her to the doctor. Eduardo, estás en lo correcto, mi brother. Yeah, it might be something where she's just sick, bro, and you might have to have her go in and check. Okay. I think I'm almost done here with my resume. Yeah, I'm almost done here with this. No voodoo sauce, bro. None of that. Cause I'm an island boy. I am one. Don't get it twisted, bro. I'm an island boy, not that one that you are thinking of this month. Perfect. New phone, who this? What's up, John 2.0? You mean you had to name yourself John 2.0 because there was not a John 1.0, like 2.0 because the 1.0 wasn't? I'm just kidding. I'll stop because I know where that's gonna lead. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's an island boy. Este tipo. I do got the medal, bro. I ain't got 5 kids, but I do got the medal. It is 5 of us in the household, though. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, yeah. I do. One is my nephew. Yeah, I have a daughter and a son. That's correct. Yep, exactly. So I have been Jenny around the block. I'm just Jenny from the block. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. Know where I came from. I'm just Jenny from the block. Okay, I've narrowed this down. Careful with that building resume. It's not building my resume. It is, I guess, rewording my existing resume. I already wrote everything out, and it's just making it more succinct. Yeah. It's not building it for me. It's just, this is a rework of my resume, just like making it, because it was pretty verbose. And it narrowed it down for specifically for these companies I'm gonna apply for. That's true, that makes sense. Cool. I think my resume is good. Let me go ahead and export this and send it to my boy. Download as PDF. If y'all want to proofread, the thing is that I don't want to reveal a lot of my name and stuff. Bet, I got you. I'll take out some stuff. I think I can show all of this actually. Where's Discord? I got you, bro. It's bad. Discord is opening up. Okay, I think I'm gonna finish this ChatGPT here and we're gonna jump into the coding part. I mean, kind of. I am. Oh man, this doesn't send it in the appropriate format. Ugh. I'm gonna send you some screenshots, all right? I think that might be best. Because you're gonna get to see the formatting, I guess. What is the exact role you're looking for to get it, as it makes a big difference? Yeah, it will be for a senior Android development role. Here, I'm sending you some stuff. And that's just in general. But then I am going for, right now I'm targeting Dropbox, Target, Venmo, Bumble. Those are kind of the ones I'm looking at. This guy, bits of strings are really, who cares? I mean, who cares? Spectre, este tipo. I don't need no pickle juice to calm myself down. Stop it. Stop it, Spectre. Bro, I need some music, man. I wish the music would work. Oh, it's working now. It's working now. Esto está chimba, tocino. No, it does not. Hey, I do like this. Wasn't entirely sure you knew it was me. Of course I know it was you, Spectre. No, my headset is. Oh, do you mean the other headset? I've been noticing that these are more comfortable to use, especially during long periods. So I've been switching to use these that I got for was it for my birthday? Yeah, I got it for my birthday. Yo le meto forest y campfire. El forest aquí, a ver. Me gusta aquí. But I know you as Who Cares or Mr. Who. Like, who do I call you as? Who Cares YouTube or Mr. Like, I don't know. I want to pray like that. Mine is coded and it makes it rough to do anything not right at the desk. Yeah, I can see that. And to be honest, these are the Pixel Buds Pro. The battery life has lasted quite a long time. Like, I haven't charged it in over a week. And the case here has like about 40% left in the charge. And the headsets, they are at 100%. I think it was just like a Bluetooth thing issue because it can connect to both my laptop and my phone at the same time. So for instance, while I'm hearing the music that y'all are hearing right now and I get a call, I can hear that music while taking the call. So it's like, it's both. I mean, he calls me Hector. I'm true. I don't have HANA 6. Okay, Hector Spectre. I mean, Hector Inspector. But problems you have solved it. Catch voice here. Glow, I appreciate the feedback, my guy. No, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So I finished the song request app. I just need to tidy some things up and I'll push it to a private GitHub repo. Cool. Thinking I am possibly moving back to using the Mac. Keep the Linux box set up for hosting local LLM though. I think that's what Twinkie does, to be honest. I wish Twinkie was here. Twinkie, man, Twinkie has been doing some crazy stuff with LLMs. I'm so excited about the project that he's working on, and I really, really hope that y'all, like, once he gets his project up, it's gonna be on Twitch and it's gonna be running autonomously. And y'all, please support Twinkie on what he's doing. I think he has a good vision of what he wants to do, but I can't talk much about it. Once again, good feedback, Cute Glow. I think what I was gonna say, Cute Glow, I don't know if you can hear me, but some of the companies I've been applying towards, they have like a broad, like they have different Android engineering roles on that that goes across multiple teams, and that makes it a little bit difficult to put myself in one particular bucket unless I want to go for a specific team. But I'm not using it as an excuse. I think there's a point to be made on what you've said about being a little bit more relevant in terms of like what I'm describing about what I've done in those roles, that it can fit, let's say, the problems that the company is doing or going through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it might be too wide, and I think there's a purpose for it to be a little wide right now, is because I don't know what I can catch. There's the competition, like there's so many people from the cohort of people that I know that got laid off from Square that have yet to find a job. I'm lucky that I'm in this point where I can even send my resume over to some people that I know. So, but like a lot of people that I know have not even been able to get a call back from just submitting their resume. And it's not so much that they're being too specific or targeted to that role that they're trying to apply for. Is the competition is wild right now. It's crazy. So they're not getting noticed at all. Yeah, I know, exactly. So thankfully, like I know somebody who knows a recruiter that they're working closely with, and they're an ex-company, and they can get me in to have some conversations. There's a Venmo one in particular. They reached out to me, and I'm close to their location. They're a hybrid company, which I'm not too fond about, but they reached out to me. So I'm just, let's go for it. Let's just give it a try for this interview and see what happens. But your points are very valid. I really appreciate the feedback. Personally, each role I apply for, I increase the areas of my experience based on the job description. So I pick up my history and that add into my gaps. That makes sense. So here's the one thing that I've noticed based on my experience. When I applied to Square, when I applied to Google, Snapchat, all of these, there was a particular role that I was going for. And in those scenarios, I targeted my resume to match the role that I was targeting so I can close that gap as much as I could. But what I realized is they're not looking for somebody most of the times that fits a particular role. They're looking for somebody who checks certain number of boxes. That way they could succeed in that particular role or some adjacent roles to it. So for instance, at Google, when I got the offer for Google, I applied for an Android engineer position with knowledge in Android and all of that. Very catered, targeted to that position. But Google, they wanted me to work on something close around the Android from an integration standpoint, but using their specific tooling and specific languages that were server side forward. So it wasn't so much for like an Android specific position, but it was around like specifically for the Android YouTube app, you know, but it was not specifically for that role. Does that make sense? So and for Snapchat, for instance, whenever I would once again try to do for an Android specific role, and I hit certain checkboxes for them, and they added me as more of it was kind of like a lead position in the Snapchat Q&A team is what they called it. But really what they had me doing was developing feature apps. Because, okay, so like a company like Snapchat or Square or Google, there's so many large teams, and a lot of the times you're in a mono repo. And what happens is your CI/CD pipeline starts to, you know, get a bottleneck because you have so many people from so many different teams that are trying to build the same thing, and it just takes so much time to run your tests on it. So what the solution was in Snapchat's case is they wanted to have featured apps that specifically ran for those teams, for those featured teams. That way they could write their UI tests targeting the feature apps, so they didn't have to use be a part of that bottleneck of the greater CI/CD pipeline. What this meant is they needed an Android engineer who knew the Android ecosystem, who could set up, knew the Android, Dagger or Anvil dependency libraries, so you could configure this feature app to run for Android specific teams, right? So they found enough to where I had the check boxes for Android, and they fit me in that position. The same thing for Square. Square initially they had me, I was applying for to work on the POS team, which is the actual Square touchscreen team. The Square big block that you see where you go and you have all of the ordering system and on the payment system. That was the team that I applied for, but I ended up in the kitchen display system team, which is something totally different. So I think a lot of these companies, what they do is especially big tech, they see if you meet the check boxes, and once you do, they'll put you in a pool where multiple teams will then apply to have you as their candidate. So for instance, at Google, I met with three different hiring manager for those teams, so they could tell me which one, what they liked or what they do, and then I would have the choice to pick which one to go for. So it's a little bit, it depends on I think the type of company you're trying to apply for. I think in big tech, the lines get blurred when it comes to your targeted responsibilities. But yeah, I normally get told the complete opposite of what you just told me. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I think if the company is smaller, they do need somebody that's more specialized. But I think if you're applying for some of these bigger companies, it is different. For instance, right now at Dropbox, there's two different positions. There's one for mobile platform and there's one for mobile experience, right? But the requirements for both of them are the same. So it's more generic around the Android ecosystem. So yeah, I'd argue you always want this is what this guy is best at, though. I mean, I agree. I think actually I agree to a certain extent, because especially now we're moving to a point where you being good at something should not tie into a language or a system that can now be covered by AI. For instance, I know this personally. Oh, same. Don't get me wrong. I'm the same way. I did Ruby on Rails, I did PHP, I did, Python at some point, I did Node.js, mobile, I've done everything. Don't get me wrong. But I think right now, and I know this personally because I know somebody who's actually a big YouTuber. Yeah, I'm not gonna say much about that, but he works somewhere Well, okay, he works at Square, and after the layoffs, he was one of the ones that stayed. Well, now they are doing both iOS and Android development because they're using AI as this tool to help him understand the code base and the different texts. So he's not the best at iOS, but he knows enough to be dangerous. And I think that's where jack of all trades in the era of AI are gonna succeed. All right, publish a song, request a private repo, invited you to have read access. Cool. No, don't give access to Spectre at all. What is this? I see, okay. No. Stop with the spins. Oh my goodness. Okay, I need to look at all of this later. My email is going crazy nuts right now. I can't believe my boy hasn't responded. Bro, you normally respond fast. Okay, cool. Let me go use the restroom real quick. And when I come back, the plan is to time myself how long it takes for me to build a quick application from scratch that will hit an API endpoint, and it will display a list of that endpoint of things on the screen. And maybe we'll look into a little bit of going to a detailed screen. After that, I probably need to jump into some more leak codes, but I'm gonna do that off screen because I do gotta prepare for this interview that's coming up in about an hour. So I think I'm gonna be on for maybe about 30 more minutes or so. Then that way I can do this quick run, and I'll be come back. You get popcorn? Sounds good, bro. I faked the build process. What you mean? Fake the build process. Keep low. While you answer that, let me use the restroom real quick. Right back. Dímelo, Ergo and Rod. How you doing, bro? To deliver the app in 30 minutes, do you count building too? If we're talking about like building and deploying onto Play Store, no, not that. But if we're talking about building it and displaying it on screen, yes, I count that as well. It should be, that part shouldn't be too hard. All right, I did have an API in mind, unless if y'all want to make it interesting, why don't y'all send me, if you want, an API that I don't need to have authentication, authorization, or any of that. All I need is an endpoint that I can hit. For instance, I know the Poke API is one of those that I could use. but I don't want to use the Pokey API. I've used that before so many times in the past. I found one though recently that was that is the Rick and Morty API. Yeah, this one. So I've already looked at this API and I'm already familiar somewhat with it. So it might make the process easier. That's why I'm asking if anybody wants to send me a different API. Si no todo bien, I can still do this one. But basically, there's this Rick and Morty API that I can use. And what it does is you can list, it has character information. You can list, use GraphQL. I am not going to use GraphQL, to be honest. There are tools that I can use to hit GraphQL APIs, but I'm just going to stick to REST for now. I think adding GraphQL is a little bit outside of the scope of what I'm interviewing. If people ask it though, that's a conversation for me to have with them, and then we can figure it out there. But yeah, if nobody has anything, then I'm going to go ahead and do this one. But basically, this API, I can see the characters. For the characters, there's info. Okay. I don't want to cheat. So I'm just going to find another quick API because I don't want to cheat. API categories. No, let's see here. Test data, tracking data, photography. No. Remove background, Pixabay photography, geocoding entertainment. Chuck Norris, okay. RIP Chuck Norris. All these are random jokes by Chuck Norris, but we don't want that. Meme maker, create your own meme. No, thank you. Keanu Reeves, whoa. I want something that has images. Something that has images. Anime, maybe? My anime list? No. I want no authorization. Waifu. What's waifu? Does waifu mean wife? Nope. Spending too much time on this already. Waifu pics. No authorization. Definitely SFW. Where's the docs? This is all the docs. Waifu pic type category. This is just images. That's it. Okay, it doesn't show anything specific. Neko, what is Neko? What's the API endpoints? Current version is v2. I want to see official libraries. What are the endpoints? Let's see here. Endpoints/endpoints. Neko waifu. Okay. Let's see Neko. First one, is that a thing? Neko. Results, artists, Twitter. Okay, this doesn't help, to be honest. Amount to. Okay, then I need to say amount. All right, cool. Does this look like? Okay, no. No, we don't. Nope. Nope. We're not gonna do any of that. Nope. We're not gonna do stuff like that. I don't like this API already. I'm not into that. Gcon. What is Gcon? Okay, this is interesting. Here looks like we have some stuff, some extra information, right? We have like, yep, I didn't, nope. Did you scroll? Scroll? What do you mean did I scroll? Daily unlimited per minute. Okay, 3 requests per second. That's cool. Anime, can you get a list? I'm trying not to. I'm just trying to find, I want to find an API that I haven't used, because I used the other one already. Get character and anime. Okay. Why do I need an ID? Is there one that won't need an ID? Characters. Data. All right. Listo, I am Tahama Dev. Dímelo, Vero Dev. What up? How you doing, my person? You back from lunch? How was lunch? I'm right now trying to find a free API that I can use so I can test myself and see how long I take to create an Android dev app from scratch. Okay, this API I can use. It looks like it just gives me the top animes. And what if I just do no type? All right, cool. I'm gonna use this one here. API jcon.mo v4 top anime. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna put it over here. And we're gonna have a goal. We're gonna have a goal. Build a small app. All right, cool. That's what we're gonna work on today, right now. Then we're gonna have a timer, or time running, not a timer. Timer, I guess that's what it do. No, stopwatch. There we go. Big stopwatch. Cool, cool. Full screen stopwatch. I don't want it to be full screen, but this works. Here we go. This works. All right, y'all ready for this? Cause basically I gotta cut off in 30 minutes because I gotta prep for this interview. All right, so let me, oh shoot, I literally just sent my resume over to my homie and he immediately answered. Hi, we're excited that you have been referred to our Android software engineer opportunity here at Reddit. In order for us to consider you for this role, we ask that you complete our official application. There are just a few questions. It should take you a few minutes to complete. All right. I will not click that link yet. I'll click that after we finish this piece here. Listo. So, we know what the goal is. Let me open Android Studio if it's not open. Let me also kill Godot so we save some resources here. What else? I'm gonna kill Discord too. What else? I'm gonna kill OBS. I'm kidding. All right, we're gonna create a new project and we're gonna start a timer. I'm gonna start the timer after I create the project. I'm gonna do an empty activity project. Or should I do no activity? I'll do no activity, although I don't think most projects are gonna start like this, but I'll do no activity just so I can refresh myself, all right? The goal is to do it within 35 minutes. So here we go. I'm going to build an application that displays a list of anime selections. I'm not going to worry about pagination. I'm only going to worry to display the first 10 that gets displayed or whatever. And then I'm gonna try and bake into a details screen. And that means I might need the navigation library. Shit. Okay, here we go. Start the timer. Let's go. Let's see here in my application. Top animes. Bro. Top anime, experiments, Kotlin. That's fine. Finish. Cool. Well, that's opening. Here, a few things that we need to consider. Bro. Okay. I'll try to have this fit within here. Let's see if it does. Okay. We're gonna have a running device. I have it running on my phone, that's fine. I'm gonna bring this over here on this side on the bottom left, yeah. I think that makes better sense there. Device manager over here too. Cool. I never liked this one, I always use the project files. And we now know right here from the build diagram the stuff that we have and we don't have. Okay, I know for a fact that I'm going to need a library like Ktor for the client. So let me see here. Ktor, import client, Godot. Adding client dependencies. So I'm gonna need Ktor. I am going to need this one here. What is the Ktor version? Ktor to have it as 3.42. Hey, this is exactly what I need right here. Because I think we're using Tamil. Where's the Tamil file? Yeah, here we are. So I already have the version and the libraries already set up. Ktor core, let's add it to the bottom. We have this, and we need to include it. Okay, this needs to sync first before I can include it. But in the meantime, I also need to find the JSON. This negotiation and serialization part. Yeah, this is the one I need here. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. This is the Ktor one that I need. Let's bring this one down. Version ref is going to be Ktor for sure. That's the module for it. Ktor client. Now we need to sync. Once it finds one, it will find the next one. Oh, not core. That's it, right? Yeah. Alright, so now we have the client core, the client content, OPQRSTUV. R comes after N. I don't think there's any plugins I need to apply because it's just a library that we're including. We do need this serialization one too. Serialization is specifically needed for the JSON. Something similar here, but I'm gonna bring this one here. I'm gonna add this version as well. Sing that too. What else am I gonna need? I don't think I'm gonna introduce hilt or coin. I'm not gonna look into that right now. But okay, we have KTOR, we have serialization. Those are the main two things that we need right now. Yeah, those are the main two things we need. So next step, what I'll do, and this is just for my sake. I shouldn't have not done this, but I'm doing it for my sake just so I can practice. In here, we need to specify several things. I know for a fact we're gonna need permission for internet, right? Because we gotta have access to the internet. Then for this, I need to create a brand new activity. This activity is gonna be empty views activity. Why do we need a layout? I don't want a layout. Let it just be a new activity. What's this gallery thing here? An empty activity. This works. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, this is my phone, and we'll see it later here in a bit. All right, and then this here, we can use the preview to kind of see. Let's build and refresh. All right, 6 minutes so far, basic setups. Here, I think the biggest part is gonna be to understand this. Okay, cool, this is working. I'm gonna work from the UI going forward. So what does that mean? Well, I want to display, let's take a look at the data here. We have pagination stuff, which I'm not going to worry about, but the data here, what does it have? A bunch of different things. So an item has images, it even has a trailer. Ooh, I'm going to need coil for images. That is something I'm going to need. Coil, image, loading bar. Okay, hold on. Coil versus Picasso, Kotlin. I think Picasso is not something we want to use. There was another one though. Coil versus Picasso. Best image loading library, Kotlin. I should have done this research myself before. Coil glide. Yeah, this is what I want to know. Coil versus glide compose. Yeah, coil generally prefer modern choice for jetpack compose. Okay, so then coil, Kotlin, jetpack compose. All right, is this it? This is it. How do we set it up? Okay, we need to introduce this. There's a Gradle. Oh man, I'm so slow. What does we need? Async model, that's all we use. Okay, we'll deal with that later. While that's syncing, we'll go here. We're gonna take a look at this. All right, so if we have a URL, what does the URL show us? Okay, just information about it. Titles, different titles. We can just get the first title, if anything. Or we can just use this title right here. Title English, we'll use title English. Type TV, source, manga, episodes, status. Okay, so what we can show display here is we can show an image with the title, the status of it, not synopsis. This can go into the details. Genres, no. Explicit genres, themes, demographics. Okay. What we can show is here the current score rating, title, and status. So I'm gonna do a comment here. All right, we go title. I say title English. Let me just keep track of which ones I'm gonna use. Title English, status. What else? I said rank or rating and score. Rating and score. All right, these are the main 4 things I'm going to show on the main page. So let's go ahead and create that. I think what we're going to need is probably some sort of a data class that at least capture these things. So this is going to be a list item or item list. This is what? An anime, top animes. This is not the full anime information, but anime item is what I'm gonna call it. Then we're gonna have a val title, and this is gonna be a string. Then we're gonna have val status. Is this a string as well? I think so, yes. Val rating, and rating is also string. And then finally, we're gonna have a rate, a score, and score is a float or a double. Float is fine. All right, cool. Now that we have these things, what I can do is have like a dummy. So I'm gonna do dummy data equals list of, and I'm just gonna put, ooh, we need an image too here. We're gonna need an image URL. Okay, and I'm just gonna create 1 or 2 anime items here. So let's say here we're gonna do, what's this here? Title, One Piece, of course. Status, still airing. Rating, of course you gotta give it. It's PG-14, I think 13. Score, of course, has to be 10, right? Because it's up to 5 point something. Yeah, 10. Don't call you an Android. Why not, man? 10. Oh, this could be just a double. Already call me a clanker. An image URL here that we're gonna use is, we can use just this one here. Let's see, what is just JPEG? I know this is not the anime, but we're just gonna use this image for now. And I'm gonna duplicate this just so we can see multiple. Ooh, I'm taking so long. This is freerin. Cute. Still airing, finish airing, it says. Finish airing. All right, we're gonna call it 10. All right, that's cool. Okay, now that I have this dummy data, I'm gonna rephrase this greeting here. I'm gonna get rid of the greeting here. Instead, I'm gonna have a, first of all, a composable that is a, this is gonna be my top anime content. So it's gonna be fun, top anime content, and it's gonna take in a list of animes.
And I need to fix it now.
So anime
I
item,
want to, but it's time to fix this now. Or do
and
I want to do something just hacky? I think I want to do something just hacky because, like I said, at the end of the day, I want to
here what
it's
it's gonna have is gonna be, let's say, a box. Modifier is gonna be modifier that fill width, fill size. Then we're gonna say this is gonna be a lazy row, right? Lazy row, and modifier here, modifier equals modifier that fill max width. And then this row is gonna then have a items list. And the items is gonna be a size anime. And we need to give it a stable ID. The reason we need to give it a stable ID is because lazy column won't work without the key. So anime key equals, okay, let's see here, items equals this, and key equals, what is the key? It'll be it that, and let's add an ID to this actually. ID is gonna equal 1, ID is gonna equal 2. And then down here we'll add a val ID. This is gonna be an int, and that's it. Right, so then here we use the it.id for the key, and then we're gonna display what we want to display here in a column. What will we show? Above it we'll have a text, which would be the it that equals is gonna be it that name, it that title. For that text, then below we're gonna say rating is gonna be the same, or status. Then so columns is gonna be here. And then if we do another column, and this is gonna be, I'm gonna say a text here, but image will go here. And then if we have this here, oh, this is gonna take a modifier because it's the modifier equals. Bro, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I might actually. Let's go ahead and fix this. No, it didn't do that for me. Carajo. Then we say, okay, top anime content, then modifier equal modifier.padding, and we gotta set the inner padding. Well, then the list is gonna be the dummy data. Cool. Then in here for this, we're just gonna say, actually I'm gonna put empty list because we're gonna get that later. Empty list. But here for this preview, yeah, this should work. Cool. One piece image will here. Okay, this is not working because why is it not working? I did it as a row instead of a column. This should be a lazy column. Lazy column. No. This should be a lazy column. And then this should be a row actually of columns. Yeah, items. This should be a row. And inside of this row, it should have 2 columns. Yeah. So one piece image will go here, and then here this row is the one that needs to be filled the max with. All right, so we have this, and we can do that space. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Alignment. All right, this is fine. We just leave it like this. So we can see here we have one piece still Aryan, and then we can maybe even add a space, a modifier here. State lazy list, state content pattern, reversal, vertical alignment, horizontal alignment. I think we can do a dot space. There's an alignment. Oh, it's the alignment. That's right. Alignment. That space. Alignment. That. Oh my gosh, there's a space by. I know it. All right, we're not gonna worry about the spacing for now because I'm running out of time. Only 10 more minutes to lock in into the freaking AI. Okay, the UI kind of looks okay for now. We can deal with that later, making it nicer once we have everything is in place. For instance, here I think I can use async image already, right? Async image because this says all I need to give it is a URL, so the model here. I'll say model equals that image URL, and then here the content description we'll just say is null for now. And this doesn't show the thing, but it should show it here. It should show the image here, just doesn't show it in the preview. Okay, now this is all the UI layer. Normally I like to add everything in one file that way I can see it, and I'll break it down by things later on. For now, I think what we need here is how to fetch the data and how to push that data down to the UI, right? Because we are in a unidirectional data flow. So let me think about this real quick. Well, first I need to, from the VM perspective, I need to have access to some sort of a repository that will pull the information for me. From the repository's perspective, it needs an HTTP client so you can make the request, right? From the repository's perspective, it needs to be able to convert the responses from the HTTP request over to my domain model like this one, the anime item. So that being said, I'm gonna start from working my way from back to forward. The client, the HTTP client, this is something that I am going to just need in general. And I could need it across multiple different view models. Multiple repositories. So that means realistically in an app, the client should be a singleton, right? And we use Dagger, Hilt, Coin, whatever to handle that for us. But for now, since I don't have anything like that, I'm just gonna create basically a singleton class that holds on to all of my dependencies. So this is gonna be here, object, anime dependencies, or let's see, dependencies. I'll just call it dependencies. Then here we're gonna say, well, I need a client, a network client. Let's call it that, a network client. And this network client is gonna be by lazy. What is by lazy? By lazy, it means it will only instantiate this client when it's needed. And I know I need this HTTP client, but I'm not sure how to use it with Ktor. I don't remember using Ktor as an HTTP client. Ooh, JSON request. And I know we just need something like this. Okay, here we go. The HTTP client, I need to install the content negotiation. The content negotiation is what allows me to say, hey, this is a JSON request that I'm making, right? So we do JSON, and that's gonna have a JSON object that we wanna construct, right? This JSON object, we're saying we're gonna ignore the keys. Basically, we're okay if we miss some of the keys, just don't crash, right? So ignore unknown keys, we're gonna make that true, make it lenient. That means if we have like a uppercase, lowercase, we don't care about that. Pretty print, I haven't really used that, I'm not gonna worry too much about that. But this is my network client. What else am I gonna need from here? I definitely need the API URL, right? So that API URL is gonna be basically everything here before v4. I see, right? And I'm gonna move this here to the top. Dependencies, API URL, okay. Then eventually, okay, we have that. Next that I'm gonna need is probably, and this is all in my data layer. I'm gonna need a new serializable class. And this class is gonna be the top anime response, right? And this is gonna have, we know it's gonna have a data object that is gonna have a anime response is what I'm gonna call that. And then here we need another serializable for the data class, anime response. And then here, I'm gonna say, okay, well, I know I need an ID. And what I can do is, there's two ways I can go about this. I can name stuff like this underscore, but that's not the Kotlin way to do things. And I believe for serializable, there is a way to mark the name, the serial name here. So I could say the name is mal ID, but I want it to be called ID. I like this much better. Images, I'm not gonna worry about images yet because I don't think I'm gonna get to it, but title English. See, I don't have these keys up here already. Title English, right? Status is gonna be status, but I say title, this is string. Status is gonna be status. It's gonna be a string. Then what's the last one? The last one was rating and score val rating. Ooh, I'm getting hungry. I'm not gonna make this into 30 minutes, bro. Score was a double, right? Yeah, score was a double. So we're gonna leave this. This is gonna be the animal response of that. And images, let me see. It's gonna be another serializable. Data class. Anime image is response. We're gonna say, well, we're gonna have a JPEG, and this is the only one I care about. And JPEG is gonna be a, let's say, image response is what I'm gonna call it. And that's another serializable. Oh my gosh, which is gonna be a data class, image response, and an image response is gonna have a image URL. And these I'm just gonna keep it like this. It's gonna be a string, small image URL. Actually, we're just gonna keep these two, all right? Pretty sure that's how you write it, right? Did I fall in? I do have an interview here in a bit, so I'm gonna get off here real quick. Let me just wrap this up. I'm almost there, I feel like. These are other responses now from the data layer. Well, what else we need in the data layer is we need a repository. So I'm gonna say that this is a class. It should be an interface, but I'll just do a class for saving time. Top anime repository, and this is gonna take in a network client, private val network client. It's gonna be HTTP client, but we're gonna get that from our dependencies network client, and then here inside we're gonna have a function called get top animes. We're just gonna say it that way, and this should return a list of top. This will return a list of anime item, right? However, the network request, and by the way, this is very important here. We need to have our own dispatcher. And this dispatcher is going to be a dispatchers, and we're going to default it to the dispatchers that default. Why do we want this dispatcher? Is that way we can coroutine dispatcher is what I mean. Coroutine dispatcher. Coroutine dispatcher. The reason we want this is that way it makes it easier to test. We can replace this during tests. So then we're going to say with context, I'm going to say dispatcher. Ideally we would be able to switch this. Oh, this has to be a suspended function, right? Ideally this would be not a coroutine dispatcher, but just a dispatcher actually, and then we will be able to convert it to a IO background thing, but this is fine. Then here we go. I will say for my network client, I want you to go ahead and get based on the API URL that we're going to include. API URL plus we're going to say we're going to have a /top/anime. Then we're going to say I want to get the body of this, and then we're going to map. Were you complaining, homie? I am not trying to infer the type yet. Top anime response equals that. I see. get, and the type is gonna be, oh man, I'm not gonna make it. Top anime response is the type for that. Bro. Okay, I know you can infer it from this. Okay, so then that's gonna give me the top anime response. Then for the top anime response, that data, I'm gonna have to map. The data is gonna be a list of these actually. It's gonna be a list of anime response, and then this list we want to map this. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it. Damn it. So we're gonna map this to a anime time item. So the anime item for the ID, we're gonna say it.id. For the title, we're gonna say it.title. Sorry, okay, that's fine. It.status, it.rating, score, it.score. But for the image URL, I'm gonna say it.image, this here. You have about images, and this is gonna be a list of anime image response. So then it.images .jpg. No, it's not a list. It's just a, yeah, it's anime response. JPEG. That small image URL. That's the one we're gonna use. Cool. So then now I have my repository, which makes the call. This should bring it back for me, and we can return this. If it fails for some reason, it will return an empty list. Cool. So now that my repository here has all of this, in my UI layer, we're gonna need an view model. So top, oh man, I gotta leave soon. Anime view model. This is gonna extend a view model, right? And we are going to then include here the repository, which is the this repository, top anime repository. I'm going to say dependencies.top anime repository. Then this should create the property for me, and I could easily do by lazy here. And this would then do a top anime repository, which will include the client. I'm going to say network client equals network client. And as far as the dispatchers, I'm not going to worry about that for now. So now the view model has this. So then what we're going to do is several things we need to do here. One, we need a brand new state for the screen. So we're going to say, okay, the data class top anime UI state val is loading equals boolean, and we're going to default that to false. Then we're going to say val anime list, okay, or anime list equals a list of anime item, and we're going to default this to an empty list. And then right here, when we initialize, well, we need two things. We need a private val, we need a state flow, a mutable state flow. So mutable state did I not include that? Okay, mutable state flow of a top anime state, UI state, and we're going to default this to mutable state of, and we're going to say just a top anime state. We can instantiate it once. Okay, this works. And then we need a new state one. There's going to be a state flow of the same top anime UI state, and then we're just going to default this to be the state here, and then let's include this. And then here when we init, we're going to init and we say, okay, with view model scope that launch, And then we say here, okay, is we're gonna say state that update. And I'm gonna say it that copy is loading true, right? And then we say okay, repository that get top anime. Then we're gonna say okay, state that update it that copy is loading is now false. And then we're gonna have our anime list to be the anime list, right? So then this should be getting it here, boom, boom, and this will get it back. Now the next step to do is now our view model, and our view model, we'll just instantiate it here. We'll hold on to it here. So we'll say, okay, val view model equals the top anime view model. This is probably not the best way to do this. That's how we're gonna do here. And then in the top anime content, we say if view model dot es uno de anime. We need to say val state by view model that state that collect as state with life cycle. Then we say okay, if state that is loading, I'm just gonna put a text I am loading foo, otherwise here what are you complaining for? Okay, that's good. Otherwise we're just gonna go ahead and send the state anime list. All right, I think this is enough to kind of show something in 36 minutes. Let's see if it even builds. This guy. Trying to give me quicker shots, man. Ooh, and there you go. You can hear Android just woo. Brother, tengo uno ahí como en unos 15 minutos. Así que ya mismo me voy. Ya mismo me voy. Who can we raid? Is somebody that we know on that we can raid? Midnight Simon, let's just send him over some more folks. We definitely raid him, but I gotta raid and go for sure. Cisas, todo en la misma pantalla, brother. No, después eso se mueve. Eso es parte de la vocalización. Uno decirle al tipo o al que te está entrevistando, óyeme, estoy haciendo esto a propósito porque quiero poner todo en esta misma lista y después lo organizo mejor. Por ejemplo, yo sé que todo esto aquí va en el Network Data Layer. Sé que esto va en mi repositorio. Más bien me hace falta una interfase. Toca que no uses las gafas, no les gusta. Everything is off, bro. I can't hear. Yeah. Bro, why is this not building? Did it build and launch? Oh, why is it not building? Let's build it here and then leave. It said it finished building. Is it this one? No, mi brother, tengo que ir a recoger a mi hija del colegio y después ella tiene práctica de baloncesto. Así que más bien no voy a poder, ¿no? Item store, get items, RPC failed for items why did it failed? Well, it's failing, so I can't know. It's not giving me an error message or anything, so I can't tell why it's failing. Gracias. 2 nerdy nerds. I've rated them in the past before, but I kind of want to raid Simon because he's been raiding me back to back every time. So I think I'm gonna just raid him this time around. Is this the application? No, this is not. I don't even see the application here. Why is it not installing? This guy. Llame a su mami que le diga de la bendición que con eso ya pasa. Cierto. Oh, no activity found. Bro. No, the activity is here. Oh, this needs to be the no, it's here. Android activity. Bro, I forgot. Android activity. Here we go. Intent filter. This is what I need. Ugh. Se me olvidó esta bendita vaina acerca del intent filter. Yeah, it's here that needs to go. Intent filter. Este va a ser el action. Ya tengo el permiso de internet puesto. Es que esta no le dije que a este que iba a ser el activity para abrir. There we go. That's the one I need. Yeah, and this one too. No sabía qué actividad abrir. Not sure. Es que no he hecho esto hace rato, brother. Y esto lo estoy haciendo a mano. Ahora sí, there we go. Pero creació. File error accessing recent directory. Here we go. Initializer error. Ah, bro, I know what I'm. Oh man. Okay, I can't do this right now. Pero lo que le hace falta ahorita mismo es que I'm instantiating the HTTP client too early. I need to do it according to the life cycle, and there is a main activity call that I need to do before I set that up. Yeah, I need to set it up before. Anyways, I think this is a good stopping point for me. I don't feel too confident about what I just did. And I just need to, this is part of it, right? I need to make sure I get used to doing it again from scratch. And we'll go from there. We'll see why that happens. Pero también, all right, me tengo que ir. Which app? The one I'm building? This app was just a test app for an interview. Who cares? But I'm working on Block Rush. Today basically what I did was work on my resume and work on preparation for an interview, which today's interview is not going to be like this. That's going to be on site. Today's interview might be more of, it might have leak code involved into it. So we'll see. Anywho, let's go ahead and raid Midnight Simon. Cool. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here once again. I really appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow with more studying, a lot more studying. We're going to hit up the leak code and definitely try to do this from scratch again. I'm going to do my homework to see where I fell short, and we'll go again from there. But I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Gracias por estar por acá. Se me cuidan. Y'all be careful, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace. Thank you, Pedro. Appreciate it.